Welcome to the Money GPS. I'm David Quintieri. Today I want to get into a subject that is a little bit controversial for some people, and that is what's the difference between gold and silver and which one should I buy? I get a lot of questions from people during my consultations, and they're asking me which should I buy, gold or silver? So I'll get into that. But first, I want to note that 99% of people who, even those who consider themselves diversified, are only buying paper assets. So they'll buy gold or silver, and that's actually a paper investment. And when I'm talking about gold and silver, I'm talking about actual bullion. This is you buy the bar or the coin and you store it. This is not a paper investment, not a mining stock. I'm talking about the bullion. So that's one thing we need to separate right away. When I talk about gold and silver, we are not talking about anything but the bullion at all. It is very different. They are very separate, and I've gotten into this on other videos. I won't get into it now. So as far as gold and silver specifically, my recommendation, the short answer is both. You should be buying both. Now, what ratio is up to you. Silver is ultimately higher risk. It tends to swing a little bit more in price. We've seen that historically. And it also tends to lag behind gold. What I've found historically is that people rush into gold along the whole path, and especially towards the end. But right in that third stage where the gold becomes out of the league of most investors, that's when silver really picks up the price dramatically in a short amount of time. But you also see it coming down really rapidly as well. So again, it is a little higher risk, but that shouldn't really make you fearful, because you know that ultimately it is an excellent investment that could be handed on down to generation, not necessarily to profit off of. Again, I've gone into this many times, and I tell all of the people that I consult, I tell them, do not be afraid of the price. Do not look at the price. You are not buying an asset that will necessarily go up in value, although it looks like it will. That's not the reason. You buy it to preserve wealth. That is the ultimate reason to buy, for example, real estate. When people think of their home as an investment, that's really not the way to look at it. But it does preserve wealth. You do have that there. That is something you can hand down to your children, down to the grandchildren, and many families do. So my recommendation to people is to own both gold and silver. And I also like to mention junk silver as well, because that is an excellent investment that you can have just a few dollars of for those who don't really have the big cash to buy a full gold ounce bar, for example. But it is important to diversify, not just out of paper assets, which are a little bit dangerous, particularly now, but also to get into the bullion, gold, and silver. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe.